Ridley, we're together. Let's do some drinking. Let's do it.
I cannot believe you beat me.
I know. I never beat you. This is crazy.
I know you beat me off on this one.
I try to beat you off when I can.
I know you do.
You do. Ooh, doing a little bit of mixing there.
Yeah, check out those DJ effects right
Exactly,
there.
DJ skills. All right.
What's up?
Hey, welcome everybody to the Hour of Power show.
In the Wild Wild West.
In the Wild Wild West. This is absolutely crazy. We are in the easternest part of Idaho, which is absolutely crazy because who really wants to be here? But we're here together and we're going to have a great time tonight. For the next hour, we're going to be taking a shot of beer every minute.
On the minute.
On the minute, hopefully. And we should have a lot of fun, especially since we're together. We very rarely get to do this. So let's do this. Let's have some fun. Let's get a lot of people involved.
Cheers.
Cheers.
All right, so we are doing the show at 11:30 Mountain Time on a Sunday night, so we expect this audience to be about the same size as we normally have.
Yes, but
which is 0.
If we can get Alyssa to tune in on her way to work on a Monday morning, I think that would just complete my entire night.
I'm pretty sure that means we met our goal on life,
Yes,
right?
I think so too. So hopefully, come on, tune in, see the Facebook post, get in here.
Keep our fingers crossed. We do have the Fulchers who are in New Zealand, which, I mean, it's got to be like...
Isn't it still Saturday there?
No, I think it's like well into their Monday. I mean, they're probably getting off work by now. So, come home from a Monday, work day and just open up a few New Zealand beers and start drinking.
There's no Monday Night Football in New Zealand because,
Right.
it doesn't happen at that point.
No,
so just watch
they
us.
play Tuesday morning football there.
Yeah, exactly. So watch us.
Exactly. You have nothing better to do with your lives. Come on now.
Yeah, I know, totally. So
all right, so we are...
all right, so let's talk a little bit about upcoming movies. So I
Yes.
took a look. Normally we like to talk about like superhero movies or something like that.
Right, that is the main genre of today.
It is, but really there's not a lot of big superhero movies coming up right now. One of the things I wanted to ask your opinion on was Penguins of Madagascar. No, I'm kidding.
Love it.
Did you see any of the previews for The Imitation Game with Benedict Cumberbatch? It looked like one of those
No.
like big psychological kind of thrillers, and him, like he could do one of those really well. Like he has one of those personalities,
Right,
It's
where
just
he's kind of off-kilter a little bit.
yeah, off kilter, a little bit crazy, but a lot of fun.
Like con, but not con.
Oh, I'm not gonna miss you.
I know.
We have Exodus coming up, which I'm super pissed at.
And where Christian Bale goes brown face.
Christian Bale grows brown face, and he completely takes over what I would consider Charlton Heston's role.
Well, yeah, Charlton Heston and his penis.
Yeah,
Because as Mancho taught us, Charlton Heston's penis is a revered landmark.
exactly, I would revere it. I mean,
Yes.
he's amazing.
That's right.
We have The Hobbit coming up and the Battle of the Five Armies. You're not a big Lord of the Ring fan.
All bunch of walking. Don't care
A
for
whole
it.
bunch of walking. No, and I don't disagree with you. I'm a fan of it. But, I totally get the sentiment. One that was coming up. Oh, Night at the Museum. I want to talk about that one first because that one was one I had no idea was coming out. I mean, it's one of those things that's like I saw Night at the Museum maybe once.
Right.
Never saw the second one. And
I saw the
there's
first
obviously
one
a
at
third
a
one.
at a like late night movie in downtown Boise. Probably pretty drunk. And like you, never saw the second one. Never saw the first one again. So I honestly couldn't tell you much about any of them.
Yeah, it's just... And yet they're making a third one, which was apparently one of Robin Williams' last films, which sounds awesome. I mean, that's cool. I like Robin Williams. Robin Williams fan right here.
Yeah, but that's not something I want to say, oh, this is his last film. Like, that's kind of like a disparaging comment on his filmography, if you will.
Exactly. There's also The Interview that's coming up, which I think is...
The one North Korea threatened to bomb us over. Yes.
Yeah, with James Franco and Seth Rogen.
Yes.
Very excited about
So,
that.
for those of you that are unaware, the movie is based off the premise that they interview Kim Jong-un and make him admit to doing stupid stuff or something like that. Very blasphemous to the Northern Koreans. And so North Korea threatened to bomb the United States if they continued to play that movie. Obviously, we're still planning on releasing that one. So we're basically saying, all right, ball's in your court, North Korea. Go ahead and give it to us.
I know. Boom, right here.
Right.
Another one coming out that I saw interesting was American Sniper, which looks
the Chris Kyle movie.
Yeah, with Bradley Cooper and Sienna Miller reuniting after their glory days of G.I. Joe.
Oh, yes. So Bradley Cooper wasn't in G.I. Joe.
Oh, yeah, I was thinking of Mountain Mike.
Channing Tatum.
Yeah, Channing Tatum.
You mean Magic Mike.
Magic Mike, yeah. Whatever. He was magic with his mountains.
Yes.
The other one, The Wedding Ringer this time. This has Kaylee Cuoco.
Ooh.
From Big Bang Theory.
I don't know how I like her in a movie.
Alan Richardson, Kevin Hart, Josh Gad. Don't know those guys, but I like her. I think she's pretty awesome.
And Kevin Hart, so it makes it seem like it's a comedy. Definitely a comedy.
Yeah, that's what I would definitely think. And, well, let's end this on 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh.
Because obviously something that you've read a lot of, as you can tell by your dapper appearance.
Yes, very dapper.
Yeah.
Hence the World Beer Tour shirt.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So, of course, that's the big lady thriller there is the 50 Shades of Grey. So, will you be taking the reset of that?
The better question is, do I have a choice?
Because sorry, I think you're going to have something really interesting to say to that, and I want to hear it. But right after that is Hot Tub Time Machine 2.
Oh, God.
So, as you can tell, as soon as I saw that, I got completely distracted from anything else.
Understandable.
It looks like it's a completely new cast.
Oh, of course.
With people who I don't know who they are.
Of course, also.
So, anyways.
Is this one coming to theaters?
I think so. Hot Tub Time Machine 2. When Lou, who has become the father of the internet, is shot by an unknown assailant, Jacob and Nick fire up the time machine to save their friend.
Oh, it's got Adam Scott from Step Brothers, Chevy Chase.
Yeah.
It sounds awful, though.
Oh, yeah, totally. This sounds terrible.
Oh, all right, go ahead and sign me up for not showing up to that one.
Yeah, definitely.
I'd probably rather watch 50 Shades of Grey, if I'm going to be honest with you.
But let's get back into that one. So you taking the Risa to 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah, pretty much stuck on that one, I think. Yep, I think she confirmed that one. She gave me the on the nose sign there, so...
I don't think it's a problem. I mean... You'll probably get to see some nice heavy petting action.
Oh, definitely some heavy petting, yeah. And maybe it gets her, a little riled up.
You never know.
Helps things at home,
It definitely could.
Get the engines running, if you will.
Yeah, exactly. We now have a child, so that definitely won't work for us.
Yeah. No.
That just doesn't happen anymore.
No, it's not like we can say, hey, let's go watch Debbie Does Dallas.
No.
Does that sound like a good idea to you?
Let's hop out. Why don't we take the kid to the grandparents' house while we go see Debbie Does Dallas?
I think it sounds completely reasonable.
I mean, I don't see why not.
No.
All right.
Completely in our wheelhouse.
All right, so let's get into a little bit of sports action going on. This is a Sunday evening, so we've got a lot of great stuff going on here. College football, it was rivalry weekend. NFL. A lot of big games going on. So let's talk a little bit about college, but basically because I was driving at that point, so I didn't really see a lot of college games. So tell me what went on. What was some of the bigger things?
All right, so we've got Florida State. They're the third-ranked team according to the playoff committee, yet they repeatedly underperform. I mean, they give very underwhelming performances. This week they beat a lowly BC team. BC did beat USC, if you want to make that argument, but they only beat them by 3 points at home. Very underwhelming performance. Oregon came back, made a statement win, 44-10 over Colorado. Mississippi State said, hey, we're still good. They beat Vanderbilt, which, by the way, is in one of the 100 or in the bottom 28. I think I have 102 out of 128 on my rankings. They beat them 51-0. Baylor made a pretty big win. Arkansas came out and actually blanked Ole Miss 30-0 in a very big upset. Now Arkansas is a very underappreciated team. They had a bad record coming in, but that's because their schedule was the hardest in the nation going into these last couple weeks. And all they've done is basically, I think they've actually shut out LSU and Ole Miss in back-to-back weekends, showing that they're a team that could play a late season spoiler.
Well, I was totally ready to jump in there for you while you took your shot, but man, you just took that quick and went right on going.
Still going.
Very impressed.
The Battle of LA, UCLA won pretty easily, 38-20.
No, I'm a little bit surprised. I thought UCLA was a little bit better of a team this year. Was I completely off base?
Oh no, UCLA won.
No, I'm sorry, I meant USC.
USC. Yeah, USC.
Was I completely off base, or are they just a semi-good team that is just hitting, like, everyone plays their best game against USC because they're the big name?
Yeah, I mean, and that's a big rivalry game. And UCLA, they've had some down moments, but they've seemed to have been playing really well lately. So I think it's more so an indication of UCLA's strength and USC's weaknesses, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Arizona absolutely destroyed Utah in Utah, which is very tough to do. Auburn got back on the winning ways, but still underwhelming. It's 31-7 over Samford, which is an FCS school. Mizzou beat Tennessee in Tennessee. Oklahoma had a very resounding win over Kansas, which, in fact, they had their running back, who I can't even pronounce his name. He set the new rushing record just 1 week out after Melvin Gordon set the new rushing record. So now it's at 427 yards in a single game. So kudos to him. And then Minnesota pulled off a nice upset in Nebraska. And as a result of all that, I believe BSU actually made it into the polls this last week.
Top 25?
Yeah, they made it into the AP Top 25. They had a very strong win against Wyoming, 56-7. And as a result, they are now the 25th team in the AP poll, passing Utah, Nebraska, USC, and Duke. So kudos to them.
The important thing for Boise State is, what do you think that means for their bowl position? Because Boise State's, if they didn't play for a championship during their heydays, which was just a couple years ago, they're not going to play for it for a long time.
Right.
But what does that mean? Because the better bowl positions, the better they will do. So
What
do you think that'll mean? I mean, chances are likely they're going to play in the Idaho Potato Bowl.
Right.
But do they have a chance of making that travel? Do they have a chance of getting somewhere else to play for someone?
They're in a very dire spot, because how it ends up working out is that, they have the New Year's Day Bowls, and the highest ranked other 5 team, basically a team that's outside of the Power 5 conferences, the highest ranked team by the playoff committee's rankings, gets to go to the playoff, or gets to go to the New Year's Bowl. Now, they haven't put any teams outside of the Power 5 inside the rankings. They did say that they're considering Marshall, Colorado State, and Boise State these last few weeks. Now,
because TCU's now in Pac-12, right?
Big Ten. What? Is he?
Oh, hey, Mitch.
Oh yeah, we do have a viewer.
Mike Ridley, Major, the funniest guys I know, currently watching Hour of Power.
Well, thank you, Mitch, for tuning in.
He's one of the funniest guys you know?
The funniest looking.
Looking.
You missed that part. Yeah,
that makes a lot more sense.
Autocorrect, it sucks.
Yeah, I know.
So going back to that previous point, they said that BSU, Marshall, and Colorado State are all part of or some of the teams they're considering now. Marshall's undefeated. They, hands down, should be the top other 5 team that's going to go in. And so I completely expect them to get a New Year's Eve Bowl, or New Year's Bowl, and they deserve it. BSU, they had the chance. They laid an egg against Air Force, and they didn't play that great against Mississippi, which, looked really good going into this game, going into this week, but Arkansas proved otherwise. So
they've laid an egg against pretty much every ranked team that they've played in the last 2 or 3 years.
Yes,
and that's what hurts them the most. It's like when they were on their high, it was they were beating those guys and then running the table on the rest of their conference. Yeah. But
ever since Kellen Moore left, they have struggled, but they have kind of found their identity lately. So that's good for them. And the kicker is that they own the tiebreak over Colorado State, so they can actually win their conference even though they have a worse record than Colorado State because they beat Colorado State.
Oh, nice.
And in fact, they're the Rams' only loss. So they have that going for them, but it really won't mean much in the end. We'll get the Mountain West. Damn it. We'll get the Mountain West top bowl position, which maybe, San Diego or, like you said, the Idaho Potato Bowl or whatever it's called now. So
Yeah.
it's really tough to say, but all we can say is that, Mississippi basically shit the bed this week. That was the biggest thing coming away from college football.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's kind of the biggest storyline coming out of this week, and that will really tell us something on Tuesday when they announce their next top 4 ranking.
Yes, yeah. So that's something to look forward to. Now let's move into college or professional football, where we had a couple close games, a couple weird games this weekend. What do you think was the biggest takeaway from this weekend?
I think that's a very good question. I think the biggest takeaway was how Arizona completely laid an egg against Seattle.
They did.
I think, yes, it was at Seattle, but at Seattle was not what it was last year. Last year, you couldn't beat a team at Seattle. This year, they've been beatable. And Arizona has been by far the best team in that division. And, man, they went in there, and it looked like they were barely even there. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, their offense definitely failed to show up.
I mean, you can blame some of that on Carson Palmer being gone, but if you really think about it, and this is from like a fantasy perspective, it's the difference between Carson Palmer and Drew Stanton is actually pretty small. I mean, they have weapons, they have a good team. It's not that Carson Palmer is that amazing. It's that they just really laid an egg tonight. And they probably would have laid the same egg, maybe, I don't know, another touchdown or something had Carson Palmer been there, but that's about it.
And Larry Fitzgerald was also out in this game, so instead of playing Larry Fitzgerald, they were playing Jerron Brown in addition to John Brown and Michael Floyd. Now, Michael Floyd ended up going 0 for 0. Absolutely awful game. Thank you very much, fantasy team. But, so they're playing the 2 Browns and Michael Floyd against the Seattle secondary, which, the difference between Jerron Brown and Larry Fitzgerald is astronomical. I mean, you cannot overstate that. Granted, is it 16 points worth? Probably not, but it at least makes you... Yeah. It probably changes it to a one-possession game.
Yeah, who has the best luck against a Seattle defense is someone who has 3 weapons on offense, because 2 of them are going to be easily taken away. Yeah. And your third one, if you're a good game planner, they can get you some points.
Right.
If you don't have that, then you're going to lose to them.
Right.
And if you do have that, then, that sucks.
That's why if I'm Seattle, first off, they're going to have a tough battle just to make the playoffs at this point, which the NFC is very competitive. If they change the rules so that the NFC South could just be eliminated from playoff contention, they wouldn't have an issue. But they're sitting here, at 7-4, battling for a playoff spot. They're out of the wild card right now. They're behind Arizona by 2 games. So they're going to have a tough go. If they do make it, they do somehow make it to the Super Bowl. If I'm them, I am dreading facing New England because they can eliminate Edelman and they can eliminate LaFell. They cannot eliminate Gronkowski.
Yeah.
I mean, they can do their best to do it, and even if they do, Tom Brady's going to end up finding Tim Wright. I mean, I hate to say it, but he's been finding the open receiver these last few weeks, and they are just unstoppable almost. And I'm hoping I lay a curse on him. A pox on you and a pox on your family, Tom Brady. But, I mean, they have looked amazing these last few weeks. And, if I'm any team coming out of the NFC, I'm hoping that they end up playing a playoff egg and they get to face anybody else, because every AFC team other than New England seems beatable right now. I mean, Miami almost went to Denver and beat Denver, which Denver lost to the Rams last weekend, and it wasn't close. San Diego looks pretty bad lately. You've got Cincinnati is completely Jekyll and Hyde, and Indy didn't look all that great against Jacksonville, and Indy is definitely very vulnerable.
Oh, yeah.
Especially if you get them on the road.
Yeah, definitely. You can run on Indy very easily. Here's my thing. It's how interesting is it that the NFC is just so far above the AFC now. Where what was it? It was only about 2 years ago where we were saying the exact opposite, that the NFC was completely down in the toilet. There was only one or two people that could make it to the championship game. In the AFC, you could have had 4 or 5 people who could have easily made it. I mean, think of how quickly that reversed and was completely the opposite way. And even in just divisions, I mean, if I were to say to you right now, the St. Louis Rams get to the NFC Championship game, you probably wouldn't be too surprised. I mean, if I said Super Bowl, you'd probably be like, eh. But if I said championship game, that basically means they won 2 on the road in the playoffs. Probably wouldn't be that surprising. But the fact is that they are in the last place in the NFC West, which is incredibly strong right now.
Yeah, and they are not a bad team by any means. I mean, like I said, they took...
No. What other fourth-place team can you say that about?
They took San Diego to the brink in San Diego. Granted, San Diego isn't known for their home field advantage, but it's not like they're a terrible team. They played very well in San Diego. That division from top to bottom is a division that you can't really just lay an egg on. I mean, Dallas did in the first half of their game, and they ended up being down 21 points, and they had to come back for their biggest comeback in franchise history just to beat the Rams in St. Louis. So, I mean, that division is, top to bottom, one of the strongest divisions, and I would argue that it's better than the AFC North. The AFC North has a better record overall, or at least, every team's above 500, but I mean, Cleveland, any given weekend, they're vulnerable. You got Pittsburgh, who, lost to the Jets, lost to the Titans. All these bad teams, it's like, what the hell is going on here? I mean, it's like they forget to play football all of a sudden. It's like all of a sudden the Monstars show up and suck all their talent away, and then they're left with, what's left of Charles Barkley, essentially.
Yeah.
Wow, that was a very bad analogy. I apologize. But, and then Ravens, I don't know what they do. I really don't. Like, I can
sometimes
take them
they show up, sometimes they don't. It's like you really never know what team is going to show up on the field.
No, they're completely up and down. And then Cincinnati is the worst of them all. I mean, we've already mentioned them, but they looked through the first 3 weeks of the season. They looked like the best team in the league. Over the last few, it's like you don't know what you're going to get. They're either going to get shut out, and Andy Dalton's going to have the worst performance of the last 3 years as a quarterback, or they're going to end up pulling off this major upset. You really have no idea what's going to go on.
No, you definitely do not. And I think that it's just crazy because, like, if you really think about it, in, like, the early 90s, late 90s, early 2000s, it was the AFC West is the division to beat.
Yeah.
After that, it was, for a long time, it was the NFC East. It was the Cowboys, the Eagles, and all of them. It was like they were the division to beat. But, man, it is by far the NFC West turn now.
Oh, absolutely.
And I don't see it ending anytime soon. That's the thing. It's like you could kind of see, aging teams on all of those. You can kind of see it ending. But for the NFC West, I don't see it ending anytime soon.
And the thing is, with all 3 of those teams, you could probably replace all of their quarterbacks, and I include Russell Wilson in this group, with a backup quarterback, as Arizona has done, and have a contender still.
Yes, I completely agree with that. I think the Risa disagrees from what I hear from the groan in the background.
Yes.
But I actually completely agree. It's like if you were to... It's the same kind of thing. Look at how they replaced Tom Brady in New England when he was out for a season. It was like they replaced him, and he stepped right in and did a great job.
Went 10-6.
And he got him a lot of money afterwards. The thing is that it was the system that really got him where he was, and I think that's what's the same thing about each one of those 4 teams. Is that it says, look at freaking St. Louis. They had Joe Schmo from off the goddamn street come in there and played really good. Didn't win a bunch, but played really well.
Exactly.
He almost got him a bunch of wins right there.
All right, so we have a question. I assume this is from Mitch, our lone viewer, which we appreciate, Mitch. Now, who's your sleeper for the Super Bowl this year?
That's a good question. Number
Don't
one,
say the Panthers.
So this is Mitch. Hi, Mitch. Thank you for watching. Number one, I just want to throw a shout out to you, but then also just want a reminder, if Alyssa is watching, we really need to know because I think we have a bet going on. Is that if you will tune in or not? So you need to tune in if you are, and let us know that you are.
Yes, tweet us, Facebook us. You know how to get a hold of us.
Yeah, exactly. but I think that's one of the things we really need to know about.
Yes.
All right, besides that, sleeper for the Super Bowl. This is a great question. I would say you cannot say that there's a sleeper in the NFC. I mean, of course, a few teams. No one's going to think that anyone from the NFC South is going to make it to the Super Bowl.
Right.
But I think any contender in the NFC, I don't think counts as a sleeper because I could see any of them making it. I think it has to come from the AFC. I think the sleeper, and I think this may surprise you a little bit.
You're going to go San Diego, aren't you?
Mm-mm. I hate San Diego.
I know you
passion.
do. That's why I thought you were going to go sleeper and just completely reverse roles on me. Go reverse cowboy.
Go reverse cowboy on you? No, that's after we finish.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
No, Miami. That's what I'm going with because if you think about a team, when you get to the playoffs, you're looking for a hot team.
Right.
If you think about Tannehill, he's not that great, but he can get hot. He can go on hot streaks.
Well, and he has a hot wife.
And he has a hot wife, so he knows about hot things going on. You go into Mike Wallace, you go into Lamar Miller, you go into all of these different players, and what you see players who aren't amazing, but if they all get hot at the same time, you could definitely see them going from a 6th place, getting lucky in that first week, pushing it, getting some talent going in that second week, and could push through. I don't know about winning the Super Bowl, but I think they could definitely make it to the Super Bowl.
Now, you're saying that knowing that Miami's the 10th seed right now.
Yes.
Miami's 4 spots out of the playoffs. I mean, granted, they're only 1 win out of the playoffs, but they are 4 spots out of the playoffs right now.
No, I am saying that knowing that. I know that if you look at some of the teams above them, and I'm glad that you pulled it up, you've got some NFC West teams which I think are going to beat themselves up. You've got
Pittsburgh, who's probably going to stumble. Cincinnati, probably going to stumble.
Because they're just not that great, and they play in really good divisions. So,
right.
Well, tough divisions for them. So, you asked for a long shot. That would be my long shot. I think Miami has the best chance, because what you're looking for is the same in every sport. In hockey, you look for that hot goalie. In baseball, you look for that hot pitcher. In all of these sports, you look for that hot team. I think that Miami has the best chance to be that hot team.
All right. So I offer this to you then.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to offer sleeper as in somebody that is not currently in the playoffs.
Okay. I like it.
What about Seattle? I offer Seattle to you as a sleeper. I know it's kind of weird to think of the defending champion as the sleeper, but, Seattle right now, they're in the 7th NFC position. Yeah. They're out of the playoffs. They are they're 2 games behind Arizona for the conference, and they're a game behind Detroit for the 6th wild card. So they're still behind, but they know what it takes to survive in the playoffs. They haven't really won on the road this year, but they do have the core. They can get that pass rush going. All of a sudden Russell Wilson finds his deal, and plus they have Marshawn Lynch, which rushing in the cold weather will help neutralize a lot of road games.
That's true. That's if Marshawn Lynch can stay healthy. No,
right.
I don't think that that's a bad choice.
But
it
when
doesn't really
have you known Marshawn Lynch to be injured?
That's true. Yeah, that's true. He's injured very rarely, and I completely agree. I mean, if you're thinking about sleeper in the definition of the term, they're a team that's not in the playoffs, that's been struggling, that could make a big run.
San Francisco is another team that,
Either one.
If I had to put gun to my head, say a team that's not currently in the playoff standings that has the best chance of winning the Super Bowl, I am seeing Seattle.
Yeah. I don't think you're that wrong on that.
All right.
I think that the NFC is crazy. All right.
Yeah.
We have no other questions now.
Okay, but if you do have questions, feel free to let us know. You obviously know how to use the chat function, which we appreciate. Or, sorry, the social stream function.
I don't think Alyssa knows how to do that.
No, but she can find Facebook, and that's all that matters. Mm-hmm. All right, so with that said, let's introduce our hot girl off for the day, because we do need to get that introduced. So, for those of you that don't know, we vote on a hot girl, basically 1 versus 1 hot girl, and we do this as part of a bracket throughout a whole season, if you will.
Which took a lot longer than I thought it would.
Yes. This is basically going to end up
We're
being
still
about
basically the first round.
I think your daughter will be in kindergarten by the time we finish this. But nonetheless,
Very possible.
this week we have a Modern Family hot girl off, and it's actually a 3-girl off. It's a 3-way off.
It's our
if you will.
second 3-way. The first one was the Charlie's Angels when they had that show on CBS.
Yes.
We had the Charlie's Angels 3-way.
Wait, I'm pretty sure that the hot girl off for that Charlie's Angels lasted longer than the show did.
I think you're probably right.
Because that was bad. So, anyways,
It was a short-lived show and a long-lived hot girl off.
I thought you were going to say long-lived erection, but either way, we were going to be correct. So, anyways, we've got our hot girl off with Modern Family this week, and if you've watched Modern Family, you will agree that there's not 2 girls that you can use. There's 3. So we've got Julie Bowen, which plays Claire, the blonde mother. We've got Sofia Vergara, who is obviously
the Latin love interest.
Yes. God, what's her name?
Latin gold digger. Sofia Vergara.
Jay and babe. What's Sofia Vergara's name in Modern Family? Jay and who's Jay's wife? Gloria. Yes, Gloria. And then we've got Sarah Hyland, who is the teenage daughter, but now 21 age daughter of
What's her name?
Julie Bowen's character, whose name is Haley.
Haley.
So we've got Sarah Hyland, Sofia Vergara, and Julie Bowen. Now, if you have a vote, please let us know either through the social stream chat, through Facebook, through Twitter, through text. It doesn't matter. We will take any and all votes.
We really will. It doesn't matter.
So it's the 3-way off this week.
You can mail it to us, but the chances we're probably going to get a winner by the end of this, so it's very difficult that you would actually get a letter to us in that time frame.
You'd have better luck with Morse code.
Yeah, that's true. We could do Morse code.
Yeah.
Well, okay, maybe we can.
I don't understand Morse
If
code.
I had a little thing and I could watch, you'd have to send me both.
You're like, wait, was that a beep or was that a pause?
Yeah, exactly. Who really knows? I mean, that's the thing with Morse code. When is the pause and when is it just...
Everybody complains about autocorrect, but can you imagine how people are with Morse code? They're like, wait a second, did you just spell horse's ass or did you spell horse ass? Who really knows?
I know. And what if you're like
Sarah
me?
Hyland all day. Nice pick, Mitch.
What
nice
if you're like me
pick.
and you're a bad speller? And then you try to go and do Morse code?
Yeah.
Like, I'm a terrible speller and there's no autocorrect.
No.
Well, wait, no, not autocorrect. It's autospell.
Yeah.
Whatever that's called. Yeah.
Yeah, you'd be hosed.
Oh, God, yeah.
You're in a bad shape
They would
there.
kick me out of the post office that was sending those.
Hey, get your finger off that button.
That's not the first time I've heard that.
All right, so we've got that taken care of. So let's go ahead and I think we should go into a little thing we like to call Would You Rather.
Oh, I think that's a great idea.
So we're about we're a little over 3 minutes into the show, which means we're perfectly in time for Would You Rather. So, Mitch, if you haven't enjoyed Would You Rather before, you're in for a treat, my friend.
Oh, yeah.
This is probably my favorite segment of the show.
We need to come up with more segments like this because this was really good.
Yes. All right. So, Would You Rather is
And mostly original.
Pretty much a game that I think a lot of people have played. Basically, you're presented with 2 options. Would you rather do this or that?
Did you see on the Daniel Tosh that that's now what they do at the end?
No, I did not.
No, it's like, now it's like the green screen at the end when he's walking away, they show up 2 Would You Rathers.
Really?
Yeah.
Dirty son of a bitch. He copied us.
I know. Did you see the ESPN thing where they copied him?
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
All right. So today's first Would You
I got
Rather.
myself off track on 2 different things in the same off track moment.
That's
talent.
You got us off on 2 different things. Congratulations. All right. So speaking of getting off, let's go to today's Would You Rather. Now, Matthew, would you rather, and I'll let you go first because I love you like that.
Okay.
Would you rather do anal, I know you love that, with 3 giant scorpions until your anus is ripped off?
Okay.
Which I don't really even know what that means.
I don't know what the end goal of the anus
It's not like it's an appendage like your forearm. Like, do they actually suck it out? Like, how does that work?
Yeah,
Anyways,
I don't know.
that's neither here nor there.
Or
Or
come up with that.
would you get a blowjob from a shark?
man, I am.
State your arguments.
I am.
Now, Mitch, if you want to, make a plea for an argument, you are more than welcome.
So do anal with 3 giant scorpions until your anus falls off.
Yeah, until they basically rip your anus out of your colon.
Your rectum damn near actually killed them.
Yes, it pretty much killed you at that point.
Or a blowjob from a shark.
Yes.
I am really glad that you asked this question because what I have to say is that this one is probably one of the easier ones that we've had.
We've got that going for us.
I know, exactly. Because the fact of the matter is, that I would 100% much rather have a shark give me a blowjob.
Okay.
Because here's my argument. Number one, it's, you never know what kind of shark you're going to get. Just like I went on a date with this girl this one time. And she had the absolute tiniest teeth I have ever seen in my entire life. Like, if you look at your teeth and you think, I wonder how big my baby teeth were, hers were smaller than that. Like, she had the absolute tiniest teeth I've ever seen. So, number one, you might get a tiny tooth shark. Number two, you never know if the shark had braces or not. So, there I am. Maybe I could get my dick right in between and I could basically floss his teeth.
Yeah, I'm sure. Actually, you're lucky enough that would fit.
I didn't come up with that. I walked right into that one.
Yes, you did.
Thinking that. Yeah, no, you're right with that one. But sharks have big mouths, so you can get either one of those things. But for the most part, is that you're facing a. If I get my anus ripped out, that's on the inside. That's coming out of you. It's like it's completely tearing something that is completely inside of you. If I get my dong ripped off, there's some plastic surgery, there's some skin grafts, there's a lot of things that could rebuild it. Not, of course, to the same level that it was before, but it could rebuild it to the fact where it could be usable again. I mean, there's no rebuilding an anus that gets ripped out. I mean, you're basically... I don't want to say shitting pancakes because it's not going to come out that way. It's going to be basically, we had another would you rather like this where it's like you sit down and you shit. It's like that's basically what it would be because there'd be no anal cavity to contain it.
All right. I completely understand where you're coming from, but you could not be more wrong. Okay. First off, have you ever seen what they make sausages of? That's basically what your colon is made of. I mean, you can essentially just put casing up there and you're good to go. You can shit sausages all day if you need to. Second off, no girl ever asked how big is his rectum.
You've obviously been with the wrong person.
Yes. So your rectum can get pulled out all day long.
Damn, you're cool.
But as long as you still got your peeps down there. Apparently peeps is a naughty word.
No, it's not a naughty word. It's trying to be quiet, and I thought we were quiet.
I thought we were quiet too.
Let's look at the little thingy.
Yeah.
Okay, we're still going good. Okay.
Alright,
we're good at this level.
So anyways, your peeps is, your peeps is still, your peeps is your peeps. I mean,
it's your peeps.
You can have rectal, anal, reconstructive surgery, and your wife, girlfriend, mistress will never know. But you have a reconstructed dong, she knows. And you know. I mean, it's not nearly as fun. Come on now. You got this thing. What about the sensitivity? What are you going to replace that skin with?
It gets sensitive in my inner thigh.
Yeah, okay.
I could probably pull
you
some
got
skin out of there.
Inner thigh graft. That's what's going on.
I know, and it would look
I was
terrible.
expecting a rectal graft for you, but okay, whatever you have to say.
My rectum's not that sensitive.
I know it is. It's pretty desensitized by now.
Yeah.
Anyways, you can't just be like, oh yeah, sorry, I got this penis re-sewed on. That's what those stretch marks are over there. Like, no. Like, if you have your...
What about a dead man's penis? I could have a dead man's penis sewed onto my inner thighs.
You would probably pick a dead man's black penis.
Oh, yes, of course I would. Why would I not?
Like, Lexington Still's dead?
If you had no penis, would you not pick a black man's penis to fill it up? I mean... already there's not enough blood to
Right.
run both heads anyways. So it's like if you had a black man's penis,
what
like,
was
who really cares?
What would you tell them? Oh, is there so much blood running into it turned black?
See, that's the beauty of it is that all you do is just hang out at college campuses and then they don't know the difference. They're like,
just
no,
wait
no,
till
no.
it turns dark?
Yeah, exactly. Or it's like, no, all of them look that way. You just don't know because you've never seen one before.
I love Ustream's censoring because we got Mitch commenting. It says, "I'd rather keep my peeps." Thank you, Mitch. And then he said, "Unless the censored came from a very well endowed black man." So I'm hoping you.
You're just a very endowed man.
Can you at least give us the first letter of what your censored word was? Was it a C, a D, a P? I mean, what are we going for here?
Anus. I want my anus from a black man.
Obviously, he was seconding me, so that means I'm right.
Oh,
All right, so we've
I'm
got.
gonna miss you.
Oh, there we go. So we got the penis.
Yeah. All right.
All right, all about the penis. Speaking of penis, let's go with our second would you rather real quick. Would you rather rape a chicken
Yeah.
or
Obviously.
get raped by a walrus?
Oh, interesting question.
If you don't mind, I'm going to take the lead on
Oh,
this.
please do.
All right.
Because I took the lead on the last one.
All right. Okay. Yes. So I know where you're going to go on this one, and that's why I'm completely prepared to answer my argument, which is
Well, this one has an obvious answer, so I hope you go with the obvious
this
one.
one is an obvious answer.
I think we could probably do an entire show of just would you rather.
Oh, I don't doubt that at all. The obvious answer is actually okay. What I was about to about face here. All right. The obvious answer is to rape a chicken.
Yes.
I was thinking, okay, the walruses, they have that large gap between their teeth. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Then I forgot
That you don't rape someone in the mouth?
about the walruses have the second largest penises out of all mammals.
Ah.
I have the first.
You and the humpback whale.
I stole that joke from 50 First Dates, and I am not ashamed to admit it.
I wish I had seen that movie.
Nonetheless, the walruses still have the second largest penis among all mammals.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead and have that up your sphincter while I'm taking a little chicken to the coop. There may be eggs coming out. I really don't care. There may be feathers fluffing everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Not worried about it.
Yeah.
All I know is that my small intestines are still intact because I'm not getting some large trombone stuff up my reconstructed anus. And yes, it's probably reconstructed after the first bet.
So this is one contingent on the other.
Yes.
It's nice if you're right on this one, but the fact is that you're completely wrong.
Please state your argument.
Because number one, if you really think that a person could rip an eye out of an alligator, I don't believe anything in an Adam Sandler movie is actually correct.
Alright.
So therefore, I don't actually believe that the walrus is the second biggest scrotum in the world, and I definitely don't believe that yours is the biggest.
Penis, not the scrotum.
Penis.
Nobody cares about the scrotum in this case.
Fine, either one is not even anywhere close to anything that could be that hurtful. And the fact is that, the thing about a walrus is that they are a docile creature. And they're huge and they're giant, but sometimes you really want a big hug. And yeah, maybe I'm getting raped, but at least at the end, I'll have a nice big hug. Yes, I'm gonna get a little bit of it.
You're completely right, Mitch. It was
crazy
1970s.
scrotums. No, but the fact is that it's I get a little bit of a spooning. I get like a nice little something at the end. It's not only the raping, which sucks.
It's the
Yeah, who doesn't like a little bit of a slap on their nipples?
Well, at least that way you know that you liked it.
Exactly. It's that's what I'm looking for. It's it's a little bit of the culling afterwards. And if you were to rape a chicken, I mean, number one, do you really want to ever go through the chance that you're gonna hard boil an egg that could possibly have come from you? I mean, you don't want to.
I've seen the South Park episode. I'm willing to take it. Yeah. As long as the kids can read. Okay. As long as the kids can read afterwards, I'm completely fine with it.
Yeah, you never know what's going to come out of that egg when you're sitting there at the oven cracking it open. No, but
oh my God,
if
that's my
nothing
face.
else, it's like, my rectum will heal, and there's always rectum reconstruction surgery. And I just think that I would much rather spoon with a walrus than I would with a chicken. But that's just because I don't think chickens like the idea of spoons near them at all because they get eaten so much.
That's probably a fair point. Alright, so that will conclude our Would You Rather segment. I'm glad that we ventured into that.
Can I just say that before we completely end on that, we did do the chicken and the walrus before.
Did we really?
We did the opposite side.
Oh, thank God. We have done a lot of these. Like, I was on the second page just looking for...
No, and I don't blame you at all. I thought it was a great one. But I thought the funny thing was that you took the opposite one than I think that we took last time. Because I totally think I remember arguing for the chicken the last time. Having something to do with, the secret spices in Colonel Sanders.
And this is why this show is awesome.
Why do we not have more? And honestly, where is Alyssa? Why aren't you tuning into this?
Alright, speaking of which...
If I could get in touch with you, I would, but god damn it, I just don't know how.
Okay, so speaking of which, let's go on to our Beaver of the Week.
Oh,
so
let's definitely do it.
For our new viewers, our Beaver of the Week is an adapted segment, which we used to call our Jackass of the Week.
Yeah.
Which we basically felt it was easier to call the Beaver of the Week because A, it fit censorship laws a little bit better, and B, it more succinctly described what we were going after. So
if we ever want to go national on this podcast, we definitely need to go stay away from Jackass.
Yes. So let's go with Beaver. So anyways, hence we end up with our man today, which is happens in Cleveland, as a matter of fact. And so police in Cleveland,
land of LeBron.
Yes, police in Cleveland say a man called 911 because he felt he was in danger.
Yeah,
then asked the dispatcher to be placed on hold.
Yeah.
While he made a drug deal.
Oh.
Police Lieutenant Thomas Stacho said Tuesday that Alejandro Melendez was arrested after the call and was charged with possessing cocaine. Police said Melendez called 911 late Saturday and reported that two men with guns were watching him. Police records show he hung up, so the dispatcher called back. Melendez answered and asked the dispatcher to hold on, but the dispatcher could still hear what was going on. A voice said a voice can be heard saying that recording, or a voice can be heard on the recording of the call saying, "What you need, a 10-pack? You need a 10-pack? Alright." Police say a 10-pack is slang for a bundle of heroin.
Oh.
Which, by the way, last time I checked, heroin is not cocaine. Anyways, the dispatcher called police, who found Melendez at the location he gave, had the dispatcher call his cell phone again, and said that they found cocaine in his trousers. There's no media indication Tuesday if Melendez 20 had an attorney to speak for him.
Okay, I find a lot of things wrong with this story. Number one, there are some times when the 911 dispatcher really does good things, and I am sad that they get brought into stories like this where they're complete idiots on the other line of the phone.
Yeah.
And there are many times that, actually, I very rarely hear a time when the 911 guys are idiots. I actually appreciate them more because there was that one story that was the woman called up because her kids were going crazy, so she called 911 to get a police officer over there. And the 911 responded and was like, "What, do you want me to shoot him?" And he got fired for it. But there was a lot of people, including me, that was like, that was a great move.
Yes.
I 100% appreciate that.
That would be a great response in a job interview, by the way. Be like, oh, why'd you get fired? I told the dumbass to shoot him.
Just shoot him. I think you could take that to many different. I mean, think about it. You're a call center person. Basically, when you're a 911 person, you're basically distributing the call to somebody else.
Dispatcher, if you will.
Yeah, but that's a big word. Ooh. So, you're a 911 dispatcher. You could get a job pretty much anywhere else because honestly, it's like, oh, here I am one day. I'm trying to save the lives of people by dispatching them to the firehouse. And here I am the next day. I'm trying to help you with your computer fucking problem. And it's like, who really gives a shit at that point? So, it's like they could have a job many other places, but if you actually said, yeah, I stood up to this person and was like, yeah, you're a fucking idiot, it's like, I would hire that person. Way to go.
Right.
Alright, so number one, that was about the 911 guys getting a bad call. Number two, I think that this guy's got a lot of balls for calling 911 when he obviously was expecting this person to come over. Because you very rarely do a drug dealer where you don't expect the person to come over. It's not like someone knocks on your door randomly. It's like, oh, hey, drugs?
This dumbass, obviously, he had coke.
Mm-hmm.
Probably expecting to take the cocaine and deal it for a slightly higher market price.
Well, slightly. You know, drug dealers got to make a living too.
Right. So, he's got to have a little vig on the top.
Mm-hmm.
So, he's expecting to buy this heroin, buy this 8-ball, if you will. I'm going street slang it.
Well, of course, because you're black.
Yeah. I know how it rolls. And, and then saying, all right, no big deal. Thanks for the 8-ball. I will see you guys later. Nice to meet you. See you on the flip side. Well, obviously these guys show up and they have better ideas. Like, oh, this dumbass Mexican's gonna Melendez. Sorry, I'm going to assume he is Mexican.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's enough people watching that would really call you on that.
Yeah. So this dumbass Mexican thinks he can infringe on our turf. Which, by the way, you don't infringe on turf wars. No. I mean, that's the first law of coke wars, right?
Well, and you've played Grand Theft Auto. You know that you don't go into someone else's neighborhood. And
I've watched every episode of Sons of Anarchy. I know you don't infringe on somebody's, on somebody's turf. It just doesn't happen that way. So these Mexicans realize, okay, this dumbass dopehead wants to infringe on our turf. Well, what will we do? Okay, we'll go ahead. Yeah, we'll sell him an 8-ball, but we're gonna stand him up in the meanwhile. So. They bring guns, say, all right, give us your money.
Sometimes they don't bring guns to a knife fight.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that doesn't work out well.
No.
Wait. No, that would work out well. Bringing a knife to a gunfight.
Yeah, I knew what you were stepping in. I just wasn't even going there. Anyway, so this guy, he says, all right, so these guys are like, all right, we don't want to deal with this fucker. So they just show up, guns blazing. Meanwhile, this guy calls the cops, and somehow, I have no idea how, he ends up alive. How's this guy not in the grave 4 feet deep?
Yeah, exactly, because you never know when you're going to want to dig up a dead drug dealer.
Like, what reason do you not have to kill him at that point? He called 911.
Well, I mean, that doesn't hurt. I mean, let's say that you're looking for an 8-ball. You're not a bad druggie. You're just looking for an 8-ball. It's a Saturday night. You're looking to have some fun. You have a stressful job. You work on Wall Street. You have millions of dollars go through your office every day. And you're just looking for a way to calm down at the end of the day.
This is goddamn Cleveland. This guy doesn't have anything to do with anything.
All right. So you have $1,000 going through your office every day. Maybe you're an accountant and ready to kill somebody. So... So basically, it's like you want to just look for an 8 ball at the end of the weekend. You're like, oh, let's have a little bit of fun. And then all of a sudden you realize, oh, hey, this guy's on the phone with the cops.
You know what it reminds me of is the League episode a couple of years ago where Jenny and Kevin order, they want to get some weed,
Yeah.
so they order a DVD. They find out that a DVD is a ball of cocaine. And so they're like, well, what's an HDR? Well, that's heroin. Well, what's a VCR? Oh, that's marijuana. Well, that's what we want. No refunds, no givebacks. You're pretty much stuck with what you get with.
Say, did they try to sell the cocaine for marijuana?
Yeah.
Or are they not that smart?
No, they did not. In fact, everybody ended up getting high off the cocaine.
No, well, that works.
They have that going for them, so that's nice.
That going for them. Ooh, cheers. Well,
Alright, so we're coming up to our last 5 minutes, and we're sure you guys don't really give a shit what's going on. So let's go ahead and go on to our Strike for the Cash.
and I still haven't seen if Alyssa showed up. I was really hoping.
And if you have not gotten your hot girl off votes in, Teresa.
Yeah, who did you vote for?
Haley.
Haley.
Sorry, Highland.
Sunny awake? Honey?
Yep.
Who did you vote for on the hot girl off? And it's 12:30. It's the Modern Family hot girl off, so it's Sofia Vergara, Julie Bowen, and Haley.
Claire, Gloria. Yeah.
Claire?
No, I feel like Haley.
Uh-oh. I feel like Haley's on a 3-0 advantage right now. In fact, I know that she is. Because Mitch said, hey, Sarah Highland all day. Hey! Highland. Hey.
So does that mean our
votes are worthless?
votes are worthless?
Yes, but that doesn't stop us from making our point. When has it ever stopped us? Alright, Matthew.
Nothing stops us from ever for anything.
So we got our streak for the cash going on here.
Alright, so it's definitely Haley. And she's hot.
Alright, so we will start with you, Matthew. Alright, so here we go.
Let's go with the Russian Premier League. What will be the match results? We have FC Ufa at Lokomotiv Moscow, and it's not about the song. Locomotion.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Mother doesn't.
Alright, was that the end of the question?
Yeah, that was it.
Okay, so here we go.
But that's also because I didn't read the whole question, so go right ahead.
Well, I have a strong feeling that they would like to say F you in the strongest way possible, and FC UFA stands for you fuck off, you asshole.
Oh, that works.
That was asshole. Alright, Matthew, let's go on to
Yes, let's.
National College Basketball Invitational.
Oh,
We got
yes.
the quarterfinals going on here.
In Maui.
Will the Purdue Boilermakers win, or do we got the Kansas State Wildcats pulling off a victory?
Wow, if this was March, I would be so much more interested in this matchup.
Yeah.
But since it's November, I'm really not at all. Let's go with Kansas State Kansas State Wildcats because no one really gives a crap.
There was a minute there.
Your mom's a minute.
Yeah.
Let's go with the English Premier League, where what will be the match result? We have Southampton to win, or Aston Villa to win or draw.
I just love the name Aston Villa, so let's go with them as the underdog on this one. All right, Matthew, let's go to the NFL, where we've got the Bills playing in Detroit, if you will, versus New York Jets, the relocated Bills. Will the Bills win on their relocated home, or do the Jets pull off the upset?
I think the thing is that the Bills have fans other places where the Jets don't. So I'm going to go with the Bills on this one.
All right.
All right. Staying with that same game, will the Bills score a touchdown in the first quarter? Yes, they will score one or more touchdowns, or no, they will not.
I did not expect the Bills to score a touchdown in the first quarter. They have struggled with their offense recently. They have called Kyle Orton, and it has not been working well for their system. So, no, they will not.
Hey,
All right.
that's my fantasy quarterback.
Yeah. All right, Matthew, let's go to the College Basketball Hall of Fame Classic. Which side will record a higher total? We've got Arizona State, 3-pointers made or tie, or Maryland winning margin.
Well, given the fact that the guy from High School Musical is going to go to Arizona State, I am 100%. The main guy, what was his name? Bolton. Something Bolton. Troy Bolton. He was going to go to Arizona State. So we're going to go with Arizona State, 3-pointers made or tie. Just because of that.
That made him seem very
Let's go with college basketball again. We've got the Progressive Legends Classic semifinals. We have the number 12 Villanova Wildcats versus number 15 Virginia Commonwealth Rams. Who will win that matchup?
Let's go with the Wildcats on the road. All right, Matthew. We're going to the NBA here. Who you got?
God.
We got the Clippers visiting the Hornets. Hornets. Who you got?
All right. We're going to go with the Clippers to win this matchup. Let's go to my favorite sport. Let's go to the NHL, where the Philadelphia Flyers are facing off against the Islanders of New York. Who is going to win this matchup?
New York's obviously a better team. On the home ice, you cannot beat them. Let's go with the Islanders at home.
Yes.
Matthew, let's stay at hockey, where we've got the Pittsburgh Penguins visiting the Boston Bruins.
Very good matchup. The Pittsburgh Penguins are going to pull this one off on the road. They just have a little bit more talent. Let's stay in the NHL, and let's go to the Minnesota Wild facing off against the Florida Panthers. Who do you think will win this matchup?
Panthers have lost a lot in overtime, but we're expecting the Wild to win this one on the road.
Yes, you will.
Yeah, I will.
You will.
All right, so Matthew, we've got the Ottawa Senators facing off at the Detroit Red Wings. Who you got?
Both of these teams have not been as good as they have been in the past. I think that Detroit will win this one, but only because they're at home. So let's get into the NFL, which is something you actually know about. And let's go to the New Orleans Saints facing off against the Baltimore Ravens. Who is going to win this matchup?
The Saints have struggled at home lately, but I expect them to rebound here for the win at home against the Ravens, who are not that good.
Even though they have no defense?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
All right, Matthew, staying on the same game, which combo will record the most receiving yards in the first half? We got Torrey Smith and Steve Smith, or Jimmy Graham and Marcus Colston?
That's a very good question. I have absolutely no faith that Marquise Colston, this is from a fantasy perspective, I don't think Marquise Colston is going to catch very many balls at all. So I would go with Torrey Smith and Steve Smith any day of the week. I know about catching balls. It happens all the time in my mouth. All right, let's go to the college basketball Maui Invitational with quarterfinals.
Wow, that makes
Will it be
better.
Pittsburgh to win by 20 points or more? Will it be any other results?
Well, they are facing Chaminade, so I'm going 20 points or more.
Everyone doesn't trust in Chaminade.
Let's stay in that same tournament where we've got Alabama facing Iowa State. Will Alabama win, or have a single-digit loss, or will Iowa State win by double digits?
I don't like college games in double digits. Let's go with Alabama to pull that upset off.
All right.
Let's stay in the NFL, and why don't you tell me who will record a higher total in the third quarter? Total punts or tie or scoring plays? I have no idea what that question is asking.
I'm going to go with total punts just because it's a lot more favorable matchup. All right, Matthew, let's go back to the Maui Invitational.
I kind of want to discuss that last one because I really don't know what they were asking on that one. But okay, let's go with the Maui Invitational.
Who will win this game? We got the BYU Cougars versus the San Diego Aztecs.
The San Diego Aztecs actually plays good teams since they're in the Pac-12, so let's go with them to beat out the BYU Mormons.
All right. Excelente. So that finishes up our streak for the cash. We have finished the show after a paltry 63 minutes here.
Oh, we could have done so much better.
The show says 64.
To announce your
And-
official Hot Girl Off winner?
If I keep you talking.
Oh yes, so our official Aqua Off winner. So we have 3 votes for Sarah Highland. Okay.
I'll go
Sarah-
with Julie Bowen just because I think she is hot enough that she deserves the
I'm
best.
gonna say Sofia Vergara just to throw a wrench in the system, but
Who was the third vote for?
Our lone watcher.
yeah. So Sarah Highland.
Can I
runs
just say
away.
that the fact that Honey is impressed that we actually have a watcher is a little bit sad for us.
Yeah.
And where is the Risa? Where is the Risa?
Where's I'm right here.
She's right there.
Oh wait, no, I'm sorry, I meant Alyssa.
Where's A-Train?
Yeah.
Alright, so unfortunately, Sarah Highland wins by a landslide. And we will finish this matchup up, but thank you for watching the show, Mitch. Much kudos to you. Thank you for putting up with our
Kudos
bullshit.
to you, sir, and kudos again.
Yes. We will be back on the show in probably about a month. I would say
Oh gosh, who knows?
The end of-
Hopefully earlier than that.
the end of December. I
We could
think is-
probably pull something off before that.
Well, we could probably pull something up too if we wanted to. But
Well, yeah,
it's
if
neither
we really
here
try
nor there.
hard, yeah. It doesn't
But-
really matter.
Either way, thank you for tuning in. We'll be back shortly, and
But this is one that's like live and us together, so
Yes.
that's special. That has
And-
some special meaning to it.
that and keep drinking. Just
Can we-
drink all the
Can
time.
we record this one somewhere?
Yeah, no. Nonetheless, keep drinking.